Welcome back to Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. I almost said the wrong game. So we just finished up this first tutorial sector. Now we do only have 10 cycles to go, so why don't we go ahead and fill up here real quick before we head on over to the next sector. That actually worked out perfectly. Let's go ahead and get that. So now we're up to 14. Let's go ahead and look in here. So we just got inspired workforce, which is good. I believe I want to go towards the hydroponics bay for the next one. And now let's look inside our ship here. And I'm thinking what we're going to want to do is open up this life support system here next. So we're going to need some metals and some tritanium. But yeah, so we finished off the first sector. We were stuck in the Delta Quadrant. We want to make our way back home. So let's kick on over to the next sector, and we'll have good old Tuvok in Paris tell us what's going on.
Personal log, Lieutenant Tuvok. We have been in the Delta Quadrant for an estimated 4 weeks. The integration of Starfleet and former Maquis personnel is progressing. Our current trajectory of 70,000 light-years to Federation space dictates a need for a long-term survival strategy. Due to the replicator's power consumption, the captain has concluded that we must transition to traditional nutrition and enlist the assistance of Mr. Neelix in locating alternative food sources. I have provided Mr. Neelix with a Starfleet Cadet's Guide to Shipboard Protocol, specifically highlighting regulations concerning discipline, resource management, and proper conduct. To date, I have observed no discernible alteration in his operational methodology or adherence to protocol. I will therefore continue to monitor his activities to ensure that his unconventional approach does not result in any culinary incidents.
Personal log, Lieutenant Tom Paris. Lieutenant, Flight Control Officer. Has a nice ring to it. Who'd have thought you only need to get yourself stranded 70,000 light-years from home to actually climb the Starfleet ladder? Starfleet brass and Maquis rebels all crammed onto one ship? Found a good pal in Harry Kim. His nose is still glued to the How to Be a Model Ensign manuals, but he's got potential. My off-duty hours? I'd spend them on the holodeck if the damn thing wasn't fried. I'm honestly dying of boredom. So, to keep from going completely off the rails, I've decided to start building a holo version of Chez Sandrine, my old bar hangout by the port in Marseille. Turns out, when Starfleet isn't supplying endless resources, you have to, conserve. And that, unfortunately, includes the food replicators as well. The captain wants us to find traditional food sources, and Neelix, our Delta Quadrant guide, is apparently the point man for that gourmet expedition. Sounds exciting. Neelix already puts our security chief through the logical ringer daily. Can't wait to see what kind of traditional delicacies he drags back when we actually let him forage for real food. I'll be sticking close to the replicators, just in case.
Mr. Neelix, do you have any recommendations for edible plants? Plants. Ah, yes, there's a lovely little L-class planet close by. Lush vegetation, abundant wildlife, and almost safe. Almost. Alright, Mr. Neelix will accompany the away team firsthand. Set a course now, and excuse me, I have to announce our new chief engineer. Lieutenant Carey, you kept engineering running smoothly during these past few weeks. Thank you for that. I'm happy to serve, Captain. However, the Delta Quadrant requires someone who can improvise when Starfleet protocols fail. Miss Torres. But Captain, I've been a loyal Starfleet officer for years. She's a Maquis, a criminal. You're out of line, Lieutenant. My decision stands. Dismissed. Miss Torres, or should I say Lieutenant Torres. I know we got off on the wrong foot, but I hope we can learn to work together. Fine. I'll keep your ship running, but don't think I'll forget it was you who got us into this situation. I trust you handle engineering with equal determination. Don't worry. Voyager's in good hands. Captain. You'll have assistant. Commander Chakotay highly recommended both Ensign Seska and Crewman Jonas, both Maquis. Well, that's not so bad. At least I'll have someone to rant about Starfleet regulations to. Boo! Oh, Seska, you. Don't worry, B'Elanna. We'll find ways to adapt to Starfleet. We always have. Anything you need, just say the word Lieutenant. You can count on me. Just do your job, Jonas. That's all I need. You start right away. We're reaching the Alclist planet, and we got plenty of work to do. Alright, so here we are in the next sector. Food is definitely going to be what we're looking for. We also do want to start opening up some of those life support. Oh, come on, open up things. So this will actually work pretty perfectly as we head our way over here. For this one here, we have the phage, which I'm hoping this time around I can actually complete, if you will. Now we have 17 cycles left to go, so let's take a little more or less risk. I don't need to risk everything right away. So that gets us up to 50. Now I believe we do have one crewman working on repairing the hull, so that's fantastic. Okay, we need some metals as well. So let's go ahead and head on down to this one. And we'll take the easier one, of course. Okay, we got some crew injured, but that should be okay. What is the question mark? Here in main engineering, never repaired to the initial damage, bringing us to the Delta Quadrant. Yes, upgrade to warp level 2, which we probably can do. We have 4 people here in the sickbay, but that's not horrible. But yeah, let's go ahead and repair this right up here, because we can get some crew quarters up here, which will help our morale a bit. And then we'll do this one probably down here, where we'll get like a hydroponics bay. Maybe we'll get a hydroponics bay up in here as well. So with that being said, I'm trying to think of how I want to go about doing this. Let's try the phage right away before we start kicking over to there. Let's go ahead and let's send the away team. Okay, so we want an Ocampa here for that. I think we definitely want some firepower. I think Tuvok might be our best bet, and we need some engineering as well, so I think B'Elanna will be our go-to here. So Captain, we're inside a cave system, and our tricorders are picking up a strong dilithium signatures orders. So we can use a phaser drill, which will give us 30 metals. We can perform a geological analysis, which will give us metals, tritanium, and research, or we could blast a hole. Now, this one has a little bit of risk, but we could be okay. For this one, we'll have to use 2. And I think the next one, I think this one is the one, if I remember correctly, that we need to use KES for, potentially. So the other one is we can do this one. I'm going to take the risk and go this way. I don't, because I think it's this way. She has 25 science. Yeah, let's go here, because then we can get some tritanium, some metals, all that kind of stuff. The team performs analysis and finds no dilithium in the walls, begging the question, where does the signature come from? Captain, we found a metal door protected by a sophisticated force field. It seems we're not alone. So we can blow the force field with Tuvok. We can deactivate the force field. Let's blow it. It's a little bit of risk, but we have a guaranteed win, and we'll take the morale. Because we just never want morale to fall. That is a very big thing for us. Captain, we're standing in a kind of operating room, and someone has acquired quite the collection of organs. No sign of anyone alive. So we can use the Ocampa here to try to recognize any of the familiar looking organs. It will give us some fuel and some research points. So let's go ahead and take that guaranteed win. Alright, suddenly a secret door opens and a hooded figure rushes out holding a tricorder-like device. Captain, threat established. Orders. Now I can stand our ground and just use Tuvok. That's risky. We can just retreat, which is a little less risky and a little bit closer. We can de-escalate, but that's not going to look too good. That's pretty bad. So we're going to go ahead and just try to retreat and hope for a pass here. Okay, fantastic. Focus, the team tactically withdraws from the chamber and beams back up to Voyager. Okay, first round of this has gone fairly well. Captain, the away team has returned. That was a close call. Quite. We cannot draw any definite conclusions as to what was done down there. But what about a guess, Lieutenant? A guess? We are dealing with a species that appropriates organs, and our away team almost contributed to their collection. However, the why is not clear. Captain, an alien ship just left the planetoid at warp speed. We can still follow their ion trail. Let's take up pursuit. This is our chance to find out why. So, before we go there, no, let's just go right there. We'll just go right to it. All right, we've reached our destination. Let's continue. Captain, the alien ship dropped out of warp and went inside the asteroid. Do we follow? Let's go ahead and scan the interior of the asteroid first. Strange. I can't scan the interior. Okay, let's go ahead and let's enter it. Take us in. Let's see what we're up to. All right, mirror, mirror. Voyager plunges into the heart of the asteroid and encounters an unexpected sight. A vast chamber of mirrored walls creating endless reflections of alien starship and Voyager. Lost in a sea of duplicates, the crew must act before they are ambushed. A hall of mirrors. Can we identify the real ship? We're still picking up their ion trail, but they could have left a fake one, so we fly straight into these walls. So we can fire torpedoes and shatter the mirrors. We can let Tom deal with it. We have a 80% chance to let him go through. We can just follow the ion trail, which is a 60% chance. Or we could use the phasers as a searchlight, which is also an 80% chance. I usually tend to give Tom the chance. So, as always, let's give Tom the chance to... let's give him the moment to shine. And it worked. This time it worked. Just another Tuesday flight, and we're through. Did I promise too much? Not a single scratch. HAL scanners are picking up 2 weak bioelectric signatures in front of us. They're powering up their engines. So we can beam the life forms on board based on approximate location, which is a 80% chance. Or we could fire a tractor beam in their approximate direction, which is also an 80% chance. Let's try to beam the life forms on board. And that worked. Alright, we got them. In the transport room, the captured aliens materialize, their bodies ravaged by rot. The crew exchange uneasy glances. What has caused the aliens' horrifying disfigurement? You're aboard the Federation Starship Enterprise. I am Captain Catherine Janeway. I am Dareth, and this is Motra. We are of the Vidian Solidarity. What happened in the caves? I'm so very sorry that we tried to attack you. Normally we harvest from the dead, but time was running short. It is the phage, you see. My people have been stricken by this disease for eons. It consumes our bodies, it eats us up alive. The only way to fight is to gather organs to graft from. I'm in mortal peril, and I die in a dire need of a lung, but is not your problem, Captain. Let us go, and we'll never see us again. We have an 80% chance to create an artificial lung, or we have an 80% chance to transplant donor lungs. Let's see if anyone on board wants to give up their lung, huh? Let's see if we can find a donor. And that was a success. Captain, the procedure was successful, but the phage disease has already unfortunately begun attacking the new organ. This will only be a temporary solution. But we did get the Vidian surgical device, which is going to help us out a lot. There have been many times where I feel like I could have used it and didn't have it. I am very, very happy to have this now and see where this leads us to. So that is awesome. Let's go ahead and return to our old course. And that has actually completed. So Janeway gets 250 XP. We get a little bit of dilithium here. And let's go ahead, pick up some metals. Then we'll get some fuel. And then we'll make our way over. We're still repairing the hull here. Okay, life support has been completed, so that is that. Now, let's work on the ruined room first, I think, and we'll try to get us while we're making our way there, and waiting for the. Ooh, all right. Well, not the end of the world, but not great. Okay, the hydroponics bay has been completed. Now, if I remember correctly, yes, that's automatically researched, so that is perfect. Let's go ahead and look in combat. Here, I think will be our next go about. So let's go ahead and get Captain's acknowledgement. We'll get morale gain after each combat, which I think will be very nice because right now the sector's not super dangerous, but it can be. Let's go ahead. I want to build the hydroponics bay now. What do I need for this one? I need 45 dilithium. Let's just go ahead and wait for now. And we'll just get what we barely need. There we go. 663, that gets us up to 21. I feel like I should have went the other way and got that dilithium, but it is what it is. Okay, so we want to bring a Talaxian with us. Looks like we are going to need some science as well. Where is our best science? Probably with Harry Kim. And we're going to need some, well, now I'm not 100% sure. Because we definitely need... There, that's what I want to do. Now we could, and I think we're going to take Kess. Yeah, let's do it that way. Alright, Captain, we arrived. Half of the crew must be down here. How should we proceed? Let's harvest inconspicuous plants. I mean, I want us to bring a Talaxian, so let's use it while we can. Neelix quickly identifies the delicious-looking apples and poisonous, and the strange roots as safe and nutritious. The away team gather a bountiful supply. We received a signal about a ship in orbit, Captain. Ensign Seska is missing and we cannot locate her comm badge. Signals, orders. So ask the others where Seska was last seen. Now, we could do that, get some medals. Spread out and search for clues. We can use Chakotay here for that one. And we'll get us some fuel. Or we can try to analyze traces in the environment. Now, the next one looks like we're probably going to want to use Chakotay. So I think I'll risk it here with Kess. The away team wastes precious time going in circles. They finally track Seska to a cave. Captain, we're hearing voices inside the cave. Orders. So we can approach them. We can use Neelix here. Get morale and science. Get ready for a confrontation. We'll get metals and tritanium, but it's a heavy risk. Let's go for morale and science. Alright, the away team calms them. They are armed K's on the away team, calms them and lets them leave. Their purpose unknown. Seska is the priority. Captain, we're inside the cave, but no sign of Seska. Split up and search every corner of the cave. Scan for Seska's bioelectric signature. Let's go ahead and take on the guaranteed win here. We already have one fail during this mission. Thorough search pays off. Seska is found, and she recounts a Kazon ambush while gathering mushrooms. Another Kazon patrol were taking heavy fire. Now, we can return fire, but that is very risky. We can do a strategic retreat, which is a pass, or we could distract them, which will give us morale and science. And I do like the science. So let's go ahead and use the two who aren't fatigued. And a tricorder decoy grants the team a chance to escape, and they safely beam aboard Voyager. So we had one fail there, but it's not the end of the world. Captain, the wave team is back with Ensign Seska. Quite a haul. Should we move it to the cargo bay? I appreciate Neelix's enthusiasm, but I'm concerned about the long-term viability of these food sources and their actual nutritional value. Simply having a lot of it doesn't solve our problem. So we'll have to analyze the food in our food lab, which isn't an issue. So let's go to our science lab. And we'll go ahead and hold off on Captain's acknowledgements and start the Apple one. So let's head on back to the system. We have 20 to go, so let's go ahead and head on back this way to pick up more dilithium. Perfect. The ruined room is ready. Let's go ahead and build us some crew quarters there. And we have a trade offer. What is the trade? So we will give away 500 fuel for 500 food. Let's go ahead and we'll make that trade. I don't have a hero in here. Let's get Chakotay in there. Okay, the apple like roots and fruit has been completed. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's go ahead and get that. We have 5 left. That one is 6 cycles away. Okay, they're both 6 cycles away, so let's just go ahead and head over to that. Now we do have that work team has completed, so let us repair the battery now. And we're going to hit ourselves into gray mode potentially, but we have our crew quarter ready. Our battery has been built, so we are going to now clear out that. Ooh, and we just made it. Yes, we are entering gray mode, but we are here, and we will get ourselves some much needed fuel. We will enter the ship, and we will need to go into main engineering, turn on the power. We're going to want to turn back on that and that. Rebuild those. That should be good. Alright, let's see what this call is about. As the commander feared, the Leola routes aren't long-term solutions. And yep, thinking about building a hydroponics bay. Sorry, I need to slow down my clicking through. Alright. And trade as well. Oh yep, we need to upgrade the mess hall and take away the... There we go. Management. Yeah, we need to upgrade it, but we need a crew, so we're going to wait for those cycles to complete. And let's go ahead and get us some of that. We'll get some more metals here. Perfect. Let's go into the ship and let me see something real quick. If we go here and look to upgrade our warp core, yeah, we just need a work team available. So what we want to do is we want to finish building these 2 rooms. So let's go ahead and skip a cycle. We are going to use one of them to build a no crew quarter. Right there. There we go. And we're going to use... Oh man, there's windy outside. We are going to upgrade main engineering to level 2, which will give us more power and then help boost our battery life. So we need to collect food, build hydroponics, and upgrade the mess hall. Let's go ahead and make our way over here. Alright, so main engineering has been upgraded. So now we can upgrade to that. Which, now we're only down to 3. But now we'll pick up some more fuel. And we have been ambushed. Okay.
What are your orders, Captain?
Nope. We want to attack. Let's attack their
Moving
weapons.
to attack the front, Captain.
Make our way.
Ability ready, Captain.
Perfect. Attack their shields.
Ability ready, Captain.
Send him in there. We need a little,
Enemy shields destroyed, Captain.
Perfect.
Moving to attack the aft, Captain. Ability ready, Captain. Enemy shields destroyed, Captain. Ability ready, Captain. Ability ready, Captain.
There we go. Oh, and we actually ended up with some fuel after that anyways. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the ship here and upgrade the mess hall. And that should be everyone. We also have, yes, we're gaining some battery power. So that is perfect. Let's go ahead and just hold off here. Alright, Captain's acknowledgements have been completed. And let's see what our next upgrade is going to be. We're going to get more XP for our heroes, is what is going to be next. And we'll just pass the cycle. Perfect. Crew quarters have been built, so that is another one. Okay, let's go ahead and build up our hydroponics bay. Okay, we are missing 50 metal, so let's go ahead and head here. Okay, the mess hall has been completed. Outstanding. Well, let's go ahead. Let's get the metals first. Not enough. That's okay. Let's enter the ship here. And we are going to premium no, we're going to go to normal food rations here. That's going to not help with morale, but that will help save us some fuel, which is fantastic. Let's look at the system again. I think we're going to have to go into the sector here, so let's go ahead and head on over to the next sector, because we're going to need some metals to... Alright, hang on a sec. Yep, we will stock up. Let's look at our trade offer here. 500 fuel for 50 metals, so maybe... Let's get some of these scanned here first. We're definitely going to want fuel. Perfect. More fuel. Take the less risk one. We don't need to hurt or do anything. Our hull is perfect. Morale got boosted there. Our hull's sitting at okay, and again, we need to save some metal, so... oh, and perfect. That is right there. Let's hope for... okay, more crew have been injured, but that should be okay. So what we're going to do up here is build out the hydroponics bay. And down here, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, now we need 50. Okay. Let's head on back to the system. We're going to want to get that food. Perfect. And we got metals. All that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get more food up here since we are losing 33. Field training has been completed. We're still sitting at 200. So I think it's time for some hull reinforcement, which will increase it by 50. So I think we're at 400, so that should increase it to 450. And food, now food we can hold up to 1500, so let's just quickly beam aboard some stuff. Perfect. Get us more. So now we have the state of flux ready. Before we answer that though, let's head on over here, get metals, and build that hydroponics bay. Oh, it was built. That's not what I meant to say. Build the crew quarters. Which that should give us... Oh, that almost not enough. That is all right. But you know what we can do? We can spend these guys to clear out these right here, and what that will do is that'll give us some medals when they finish it. So let's go ahead and answer this incoming message. Well, you know, move the story forward. All right, we have a distress call. Anyone can hear this message. Lost control of the bridge. Ship is falling apart. Help now, please. All right, let's do a general scan of the ship. Yes, the Kazon Nistrum is one of the most violent sects. Let's go ahead and analyze the damage to the ship. Its fluctuating nucleonic patterns might indicate a reactor breakdown on board. Let's go ahead and scan the sector for other ships in the area. Alright, let's go investigate. Because we need to be cautious. And hey, look at that. It is right there. So, I think before we make our way there, let's see where we're sitting here. We do have plenty of fuel at the moment. Let's go ahead and head on. Let's go see that Kazon Raider. Okay, we've reached our destination. Let's go ahead and send the away team. Alright, it's not asking for anyone specific, but we do want some engineering. I believe we want some medical, and it looks like we need a little bit of command maybe as well. Alright, the inside of the Raider shows signs of a massive explosion, no sign of the crew. Orders. So we can swarm out and search the ship for the crew. Call out, which will get morale, but it's going to be a little hard and we'll have to use 2. We can scan for life signs of the crew, which is give us some tritanium and research, which is awesome because we are researching things very quickly right now. So we have a faint life sign, and we beam them directly to sickbay. So scan the ship's atmosphere for some signs, or examine one of the dead Kazon. Now, she is fatigued, so that's a little rough. Now, we could use both of these for a guaranteed win. Well, the next one we want to do is engineering. So actually, you know what? Let's take the higher reward one with our already fatigued person, because we're going to want to use some engineering. So no signs of conventional combat. Here we go. So we need to examine the ship's energy conduits, or we can perform a system analysis. So now, do we take the fuel and the research points, or just the research points? I kind of like not failing, so we're just going to go with the lower reward here, I think. So analysis reveals an unknown addition to the system was followed by a massive pre-explosion energy surge. Captain, there's a strange console inside the force field. It could be the origin of the explosion, but the radiation is preventing us from coming any closer. How should we proceed? We can examine the console from a safe distance. Now, B'Elanna is fatigued, but we will get morale and some science. We're going to examine it up close, not so good. Or we can modify a tricorder, which is a little bit better. We won't get the morale, but we'll get a little bit more research. So yeah, we'll take that. So they scan the console from a distance. The analysis reveals traces of Federation technology within the console. The away team returns the Voyager with a shocking discovery. Okay, so we hit up level 4 for 2 of our people and level 3 for the other one. It seems the Kazon tried to install Federation technology, and we are unsure why. Can we transport it out to examine it? Not with those levels of nucleonic radiation. We could create a subspace bubble or build an expander. One's quicker and riskier, the other is safer but more resource intensive. Let's build the expander. We'll take less risk, even though it's more expensive, and find out how the hell the Kazon got a hold of it. If technology changed hands, maybe it happened on the planet earlier. Who could have met with them while you were on the surface? Yes, Seska was unaccounted for. I was picking mushrooms. Quite. And then, yeah, Carrie's a little upset, but yeah. Enough, we'll determine this through truth and proper investigation. Sick Beta Captain Janeway the Kazon. His blood cells are killing him. I need to perform a complete Procloud replacement to save him. Requesting authorizations. Are you equipped for this procedure? I've already run crew compatibility analysis. I've also noticed that Ensign Seska never provided a blood sample. She had a childhood disease and was warned never to donate blood. Okay, let's order Seska to provide a sample now. And about the Kazon patient, here we go. So we can replace his proclites for an 80% chance, or look at that, 100% chance. Use the surgical device. Let's use that. 100% successful. Fantastic. The Kazonic stable chances are high that he'll survive. Good. Let me know as soon as he wakes up. Let's proceed with building the expander. Okay, so let's go ahead and head down to the ship here. Make ourselves into the workshop, which I believe we have, yes, the ability to do. And let's go ahead and go back to the system and get ourselves some metal, and we'll kind of work our way around there. Perfect. Now, how about life support down here? We need 90. Okay. Ah, there's a ruined room hiding over there in that corner. Perfect. That should actually get us, yes, right over 50, which is what we want to be able to build out our crew quarter. Now, the hydroponics bay, we do need to put a hero in there, and I kind of want to put Kess in there. And we're sitting okay-ish with food for the moment. So the expander has been crafted, but let's go ahead and grab some metals. And I got a few crew injured, not the end of the world. Yeah, you are building that. You are clearing that out. So let's go ahead and return to the raider. Ruined room has been completed. And are we still above 50? We are. So we're going to need to go ahead and build ourselves more crew quarters. And hull reinforcement has completed. So I believe that covers everything on the first tier. And I think we're going to want like workshop levels and cargo bay levels. So let's go ahead and yes, we can research engineering level 2. All right, let's continue. Captain 2 Kazon Nistrum Raiders are approaching. They are hailing us. Open a channel. Kazon vessel, I am Catherine Janeway, Captain of the Federation Starship Voyager. I am Cullah, First Maj of the Kazon Nistrum. What have you done to our ship? We are responding to a distress call. By the time we arrive, there was only one survivor. I demand to speak to him. We better not refuse a demand of the Kazon Nistrum. We should question the survivor first without outside influence. I demand to see my crewmen immediately. No, you cannot. Alright, this is unacceptable. No one opposes the First Maj of the Kazon Nistrum. We will take damaged vessel with us. You have no right to interfere in our affairs. Keep your hands off our ship, or it will be considered an act of war. No. No. Federation technology caused the explosion. Until we know more, I can't release the ship to you. Your technology makes you brave, Captain, but you only have one ship. Soon, there will be 4 Kazon ships on for your bow. I don't like bullies, I don't like threats, and I don't like you, Cullah. Janeway out. Janeway 2 raid team, get ready to recover the console. Alright, so we want a survivalist. We are going to want some engineering as well. And maybe some medical to help out. Just on the off chance here. Captain, we're back on the radar, but the bridge entrance is jammed shut. It's positive it was open before. What a weird coincidence. We can blow open the door, or we can unlock the door mechanism. We'll get us some morale and some science, we'll take it. Alright, the door slides open smoothly, revealing the bridge beyond. The team enters. Captain, the bridge has been tampered with. How do we proceed? So we can scan the room for remnants. Here's where we need the survivalist, so I think we're just going to automatically go here. Tends to help us out a little bit when the game suggests that you bring a person, and then you were like, oh, well, now I have the chance to use that person. I'm going to use them. Someone else has been there recently. They notice a trap next to the force field and disarm it. Whoever was on the bridge didn't want us recovering that console. So we're going to use the expander that we built. And the OA team carefully rotates the force field. However, they discover the console is fused to the surroundings, making removal a challenge. The console is fused to its surroundings. Suggestions, Captain. So, we have no risk here and recover only the essential parts, which is a guarantee. We can disassemble the fused connection points, which is... it's okay. Or we can use phaser fire to sever the connection points, which will give us some research points. It is risky. Let's just recover the parts. I feel like in my last playthrough when I got it, I still wasn't able to get anything off of it. And we returned with the core components, but we got some metals, some fuel, and some levels. Always nice. Alright, console recover, Captain. It is indeed from Voyager. What was it supposed to be? So let's go ahead and try to analyze the console. Oh, of all things, it's a food replicator, or at least it was trying to be. We can take replicators for granted, but I imagine it means to a culture that doesn't have the technology. Yep. Just give them a replicator, show them how it works. It could smooth things over with Culloh. We need friends. Prime directive, we cannot interfere with the technological development of another culture, and it's awfully convenient you're suggesting we give away Federation technology, just like you conveniently found in a cave with the Kazon. Loyalties. You're out of line, Carrie. I won't tolerate questioning every Maquis loyalty. Dismissed. Alright, we have a chance to show goodwill. We could offer Culloh some food. It may not be replicators, but it could build some trust. Unfortunately, we don't have enough food to agree to give them food, so we're going to have to refuse. Yeah. I would have offered food if I had the food at hand. Chakotay, you won't like to hear this, but Seska has made herself suspicious. However, Carrie points the finger at her a little too much. Captain, I propose a full investigation which would require I suspend my duties. So approved, Lieutenant. Let's help our Kazon wakes up soon, and he is now our chief of security. So let's go ahead. We have 28 souls or cycles available. Fantastic. The crew quarters have been built. We have more being built down here. What is it going to take to open up life support down here? 90 metals. Okay. And there we go. Now that has unlocked. So we can listen to Tuvok's findings, but let's go ahead and get a little bit of food in our cargo bay. Alright, Captain, you simply must see the cargo bay. Our pantry is, yep, positively filled. Just imagine the possibilities. And morale is up 400. Alright. Alright, he has completed his investigation. And no childhood disease was ever found in her blood. She is a Cardassian. Genetically altered to look Bajoran. That's crazy. It's impossible. You must believe me, Seska's a Cardassian agent who infiltrated the Maquis. And since Seska being a Cardassian agent isn't as far-fetched as you might think, it is a common trick to use cosmetic alterations for infiltration. I was also a spy under your command. Alright, an unauthorized transmission was sent to the Kazon a week ago. It originated from Lieutenant Carey's station. Also, I found encrypted security code in the requisition file for replicator materials. That code, however, belongs to Ensign Seska. Incompetence or intent? Thank you, Lieutenant. Let's go ahead and speak to the Kazon survivor first. Since he's alive, we can do that. I am Kunut of the Kazon Nostrum, so you saved me. It was a rather complicated procedure, but with my for medical yes. Thank you, Doctor. We don't have much time. The explosion on your ship was caused by our technology. Who gave it to you? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't take me for a fool, Kunut. I want you to know the truth. If I tell you, Culloh will kill me. So, we can do a 75% chance to have Culloh tell the truth, a 75% chance to offer protection, or an 85% chance to perform a mind meld. Let's go ahead and offer protection Consider this connect. Whether you assist us or not, your Maj will think you did. You're a dead man either way, but we can offer you protection. We failed. I'm with Cullah. I ain't telling you nothing. That was a waste of time. Escort him off my ship. Alright, let's confront the traitor. Now, I did play this once offline and was able to get him as a Knut, as an extra pilot. But we know from the show and from our past series that it is Seska. Ensign Seska, you are charged with treason. No, it's Carrie. He's the one. He never trusted the Maquis, and he's using this to frame us. Tell that to the brig. You and your precious Starfleet principles. And yes, she gets away. You lack resolve, Janeway. I don't. Computer command XJL. Yes, and with a triumphant smirk, Seska escalates her transporter, revealing her treachery as she escapes from the bridge. Janeway and the crew are left in shock. Let's identify the destination of the transport. A Kazon vessel, it's getting ready to go to warp. You know what? Let's get ready to fight and stop Seska at battle stations. Even with our superior time, we are massively outnumbered, Captain. We'll come back to fight another day. Yep. Aren't leaving, they're powering up their weapons. I told you laying hands on our ship will be considered an act of war. This is the price for defiance. So I'm going to go ahead and auto-resolve here, and we will use a handful of torpedoes here. Alright, our hull is now at 85%, but that's not the end of the world. The Kazon Raiders have been defeated, but Seska escaped. Yes, we are about to go into, I think, the next sector. Captain, thank you for your faith in me throughout this whole traitor affair. I realize my Maquis comments were less than professional for that, Lieutenant Torres. I sincerely apologize. I now understand why Captain appointed you Chief Engineer. You clearly deserve that chair. Congratulations. I'm pleased to see you both moving forward. I'll leave you to it, and I suspect our Chief Engineer and her new Assistant Chief Engineer have a lot to discuss. I am honored, Captain. Yep, she's going to be counting on him. And we have Lieutenant Carey now. So we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here for a second. Because let's see where we're all at. So let's go ahead and go to our ship. We do need to repair that right away. And we also want to, engineering office, start working on our hull. So while we are doing that, let's go ahead and fill up on some... Out of order, yes, you are okay. So let's go ahead and wait. Perfect. We'll turn that back on. Now in the system, we can now try to beam over or do whatever it said. Fantastic. All right. So for this, we need 90 metal. We still have 28 cycles remaining. Now we'll take the light route. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and upgrade that. We are now down to gel packs. That would be okay. All right, let's see where we're sitting at overall. We also do have a couple more sectors if I want. We don't have a penalty yet, so I don't see any harm in sticking around. At least just for a little bit. Alright, engineering level 2 is now unlocked. So I think with that in mind, let's go ahead and upgrade our cargo bays once we can. No, we already have one. So I'll take the morale hit. That'll be okay. All right. Let's 1500. You know what? Let's get duranium deposits. Metal. Oh, well, we got a handful of crew severely injured. Alright, so that is cycling. We don't have another crew. Okay. Let us fly here, get some fuel. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and repair the phaser control room. And we have a trade ready. So yeah, we'll go ahead and collect 500 fuel. We'll give them some fuel. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and dismiss that for now. Go ahead and wait a cycle. Phaser control room has been fixed. Hull is working decently. And we're doing okay there. So I think we are safe to just go on to the next sector. So that's what we will do next time, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. See ya.